all of us to be like, what?
Rolling?
We have to react to something Brian just said. How could you?
Yeah. And that's why he doesn't
You
talk
voted
for
for
the rest
who?
of That's why he doesn't talk for the rest of the
Seriously, you have lost your talking privileges for the rest of the interview.
Does he ever? Well, do you sing?
I'm so on. So.
I wish
No,
you would.
this here
he
is-
Oh wait, this sounds good. I'm
This
gonna
here
ask
is
you about
Mr. Buck Wyatt.
This
And I just
is
talk
Buck
about
Wyatt
you,
indeed.
right? I can talk
Buck
about you.
Wyatt.
Yeah.
Okay. Are we live already?
Yes.
Hi.
We've been live.
My
What's
goodness.
up? Welcome to the party. Let me share this here link, y'all.
We're just
We
doing
do
our
it
social
too.
media.
We're just
Do I just
yeah.
hit watch video or what?
This is like the only time you don't have to
Let's just
apologize for using social media in a setting because that's literally what we're here to do. So I'm gonna
It's the
share
goal of
this
today.
on my page. Scott, take over. Just start hosting.
Hi, everyone. We're here at Making Music on this lovely Tuesday
Oh, that's good.
afternoon.
Yeah.
With the band Israel Creek, which
Israel
I'm
Creek, is that the band?
a
Wait,
part
that's
of. It
us.
is.
Oh,
It is.
Am I
Yeah.
the bass player in this
You-
scenario?
are you?
Yeah.
Go for it.
No.
This is our lovely host, Ashley.
That's me.
She's pretty much a pro.
No, except now when I just delegated my hosting duties.
It's cool. I got you covered.
Immediately.
We're good.
So proud.
We're
This
good.
is great. So,
I'm just having a mild
Keep
panic
going.
attack right now.
are you ready?
You're doing a good job. You're doing
It's
a
mild
good
though,
job.
so just one beat.
You sound great.
Just woosah.
I gotta get my link to work because I want to see all the questions people are gonna ask because they always ask questions.
Keep them coming.
So anybody's watching, I hope everybody voted. If you haven't, go vote.
It's true.
It's important. Local elections, man. That's the most important thing you can vote in.
That's good.
Do
I like
it.
that. Get political right off the bat. You
It's
know.
not even political,
Next, we're
that's
gonna talk
the
about
more you
religion
know.
and sports.
Yeah.
It's gonna be really calm.
Be awesome.
Okay, as Scott mentioned, I'm Ashley Marie of the local band Vinyl Rhino, and we are here today on a beautiful Tuesday at Making Music in downtown Frederick. Real quick announcement for those of you who haven't been to Making Music, shame on you. And they are now carrying some Paul Reed Smith, some PRS. So get over here and get a PRS in your hands. They're all nodding. That sounds like a good idea.
Yeah, it's true.
You should.
You have a couple people.
And if you hurry now, you could be on the show just in time. So I want to introduce our guest today. This is Israel Creek, and we have Scott who plays bass.
Yep.
We have Kim Bree who plays mandolin and sings. We have Brian, who's really chatty fellow.
With an eye.
We finally got him to show.
And Brian, you play fiddle, correct?
I do.
Okay. And this is JB, kind of a local Frederick celebrity,
Oh.
if you don't. And he sings, plays guitar for them in the band. And we, yeah. So,
He's embarrassed.
are you
No.
embarrassed? I feel like we're kind of hiding behind me a little bit right now on
You
this
can't hide
angle.
behind you.
There's
Wow!
a lot of Frederick personality on this side of the screen.
There it is.
Yeah, we
There
did.
it is.
But
There it is. All of Frederick is represented.
And we did that too. So I saw you play about 2 or 3 years ago on the Creek, but up in like the 10. It was like the art festival, I think.
Festival of the Arts.
And you guys just mesmerizing. I had somewhere to be and I was late. Sorry to tell people I'm late. It's always for reasons like this because I had to keep watching. You guys are fantastic.
Thank you.
Your sound is awesome. So who started the band
So,
and when?
Probably right before you saw us.
Okay.
yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
have we been a band for that long?
So I'm a Frederick transplant. I moved here in November of 2013, and maybe in the spring of 2014, I started going to some open mics, specifically the Cafe Nola one, because I didn't know anybody. That's where I met JB, and he challenged me to come out to his open mic at Cellar Door the next night to play some. And,
Okay.
So we kicked off from there. You want to take over from that ways?
Yeah. So we kicked off from there. Scott and I have been playing together for about 10 years. Almost.
Okay.
And I remember early on I wanted to include bass in what we were doing, but I didn't want Scott to do it because I didn't want it to be another Scott and JB joint.
Okay.
Everything that we do, we end up doing together, which is, it's kismet. It's how
I
it's
love
supposed to
these
be.
band love
It's
stories
'cause we
like
don't
that.
have anyone in
Here's
our family that
Server
brings
Man.
That's exactly
That's
what we
probably
had to make our
Oh,
own
we need
version
to get
of the
in.
David
We
Brothers.
need to get into that.
So we brought, I think that the first thing we ever did with Scott, we brought him in to play percussion on like one song at a NOLA gig.
That was
Okay.
all I was afforded.
And I think after that, we just sort of finally, I threw my hands up in the air and was like, fine, we'll just.
You're destined to be together.
He has to play bass.
guys.
And I think at the
Don't
same,
fight it.
you know what it was? That Scott was looking for a reason to justify buying an upright bass.
Yep.
Yeah,
And,
it's pretty. We're gonna see it in a minute.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
And so and then
So Brian saw JB and I play at a Bushwallers open mic on
Christmas night.
Yep, Christmas night.
Yeah.
And he reached
I know.
out to us and
Bushy's
gave us,
Christmas.
told us that he was in Buck Wet and he played fiddle and he would love to do some sort of project.
So Brian,
like this.
where are you? Are you from local then?
Yeah, I'm from Walkersville.
Okay.
Born and raised.
So he gave us this business card, was very excited about it, texted back and forth.
Now
a little
let me
bit.
just interrupt really quick because fun fact, these two are married. So I don't know if he
And
was like,
weren't
I
when
can't
we
wait to
started.
join this band because of the music, or maybe there was a little other motivation.
He's like,
At
man,
the
you guys
time,
are
it wasn't.
Are you
talented."
sure?
It was actually me. He
Look
had
at
a
the
crush
camera
on
and
me.
say I had no ulterior motives.
It was purely innocent.
Okay.
It just happened. It was convenient.
Okay.
You guys have really pretty sound.
Well, the joke
Beautiful
too is
music.
the joke too is that I ended up ignoring his texts.
Oh, that's great.
So we lost contact for quite a few months, and then by the time that Scott was joining on with upright bass, he and I had been dating for a while. We had reconnected, and we brought him on as fiddle.
Yeah.
So we kind of like jumped in at the same time.
So you kind of slept your way into the band then.
It's kind of his thing.
A little bit.
Don't let him fool
Good
you.
angle.
Yeah.
That was good.
What I do.
It worked out well for everyone, really.
And you guys got married 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's,
Thank you.
that's so super sweet. So.
Best catering at a wedding I've ever seen.
So we get. Oh really?
Oh yeah.
What'd you have?
California tortilla.
California tortilla.
Cal
It was
yes.
brilliant.
It
Did you
was
guys play?
excellent.
What was your music at the wedding? A DJ.
No, it was a yeah.
That was DJ Scott.
DJ Aces.
Because I wanted my friends as my guests.
I hear that a lot. A lot. So in Vinyl Rhino we play a ton. How would you describe your sound? I guess I'll ask JB this one.
Let Scott take
Let's
it.
start. Okay, how
He's
would you
much more
describe your
eloquent than
sound?
me.
I guess just folk would be folk alt country maybe would be a good way to
Yeah.
put it.
We usually throw some Americana sprinkles in there.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So we kind of we play a lot of covers and originals too, and we kind of, I would say, kind of put things through the lens of string band instrumentation.
Okay.
We try to stay away from the term bluegrass because it's such a specific style of music, and I don't,
Yeah, and
we don't
bluegrass,
ever want to do
you
it
know,
justice.
People
people.
get
My
pissed
grandfather was a bluegrass
if you-
musician.
Right, they'll get pissed if you're
and
not really
You're
bluegrass.
exactly
And
right.
tell them
That's
that you
very
are.
touchy.
We
Yeah.
dabble in bluegrass.
You could say inspired.
Yeah,
sure.
Touches. Like
Right.
you said, yeah.
We dabble.
So Scott, while we're chatting it up over here, how did you first start playing music, get into music? Was it always bass for you? How
No,
old were
actually,
you?
so I started playing percussion in elementary school band.
Okay.
And I did that through the tail end of middle school, and I was like, I hate this. And then in high school, I started playing guitar. So I got in a drum set in middle school, and moved actually from the Columbia area to Mount Airy, so I didn't know anybody, and playing drums by yourself is great and all, but I wasn't getting a lot out of that, so I got a guitar, started learning that, and then started meeting a lot of people, and then years and years later we met, started playing, and I was playing guitar as well, and at a certain point we decided that we kind of needed a bass player more than another guitar player. And I was at that point, kind of ready to make the switch anyway.
You hear that story so many times,
Mhm.
you know.
I was thinking about it for a while, but then when the need arose, I took the plunge and got a bass. And then about 2 years ago, I got the upright.
Oh,
and
we're
started
gonna see
working
it in a
that
minute.
way.
It's a beauty. So Kimberly, how did you get into music?
My parents were musical. All three of us kids played some sort of instrument for most of our grade school years. I have an opposite story of Scott in that I wanted to play bass first, and my dad said,
Oh, wow.
"I'm not."
We're learning.
We have a guitar. Learn that first before I go buy you a bass. And
Oh,
By the time you bought me the bass, I preferred the acoustic guitar.
Yeah. Do you think that was his plan all along, or he really was just trying to save some money? Dad, are you watching?
He ruined you.
It's like, I'll still get it for you if you want.
In college, well, actually, my senior year in college, my school has a bluegrass ensemble and now has a bluegrass undergrad major. So I joined the ensemble. Yeah, they're one of the very few in the country.
That's awesome.
What school was that?
Denison University.
Denison University.
It's just outside of Columbus,
Okay,
Ohio.
cool.
Yeah. Great program. So I joined the ensemble my senior year in college. Was playing, was flat picking acoustic, and got into mandolin then.
Yeah,
And
which
then-
so cool.
I love it.
mean,
It's my favorite instrument. I wish I picked it up when I was 6 or something.
Yeah.
But it's great.
And you sing as well.
Mhm.
Have you always sang, or did that come later
Yeah.
or before?
No, yes. Music used to be a very private thing for me, and it wasn't until the bluegrass ensemble where I discovered that I don't mind, and then love. It took a little while, but then love doing it in front of people.
Isn't that fun? My cousin Nakia, you know Nakia, she's an amazing vocalist, but she joined my country band and we made her sing harmonies. And then now she's a lead vocalist and she's amazing.
She's
and she's
fantastic.
always been able to sing, but I think kind of like you, she was like, oh, I guess, okay, now I give up. It's good. So you sing as well.
I do. And geez, when we started playing together, I was not a good singer at all, but got to learn a lot of things. He's like, no,
No, I only do that because you have come so far since.
Aw.
I appreciate it so far,
Well,
Scary.
I can just feel the love. I feel bad that I put you two. The lovely married couple is very professional, but I feel the love coming from you guys.
We're
Like
good.
it's definitely the romance is on the end caps, like the bookends here.
We live together.
Thank-
So
we've been
it's a
fighting
band
that
of
for
two
7
couples, really. It's the
When
sweet
we
and
first
the-
started playing together, Scott's mom was like, "Isn't he's so much older than you though?" And Scott
Yeah,
was
that
like,
was-
"Mom, we're not dating."
That was what your I think that was what your mom had said.
Yeah, I'm sorry, it was my mom. You're right, it was my
Wait,
mom.
who did they think was so much older?
Babe, I'm
There's
a
age
decade
difference.
older than him. So
Oh,
my
you
mom,
really are a decade older.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
okay.
when we met, I think you were 8. You
decade.
just turned 18 when we met.
We're like, what do you think? This
Right,
is?
Mom, I'm only playing music with him.
Or-
It's not getting weird.
You've been in the garage for 10 hours.
We're like,
How old is that young man?
you guys are really sweaty. Yeah.
That's just JB. Earlier we were talking about his.
Exactly, that's just my natural state, sweat.
You're always hot.
I am.
You
And I
need
wear.
a band.
Yeah.
Just like that Foreigner song.
That's why I joined a band in the first place.
So the sweat would be
Because it's
acceptable?
acceptable, yeah. It's the only
It
job you can
is.
have where it's
I was like, oh, he's
acceptable to sweat
working.
like that.
I actually have a rule that if you leave the stage and you're not sweating, unless you did like a 2-song set, then you did it wrong. Like that's my
Yeah.
thing. I'm like, you need to go back and, or you have like ice packs on you or something. I
My
don't know.
goal is to
I
get
like
famous
your
enough
style.
that I could be like Solomon Burke and hire somebody to literally to wipe
Just
my
towel
sweat
you
off.
off.
I do that. For Ryan is our lead guitar player in the band, and it started as a joke during one of his solos, and afterwards he was like, "Man, that was really sweet. Like when you wipe my sweat off, like that was really helpful for me." And so now, like every couple like songs, I'm like,
You should get an extra cut.
I was gonna say it's 2018. You don't have to do that.
"Yes, I should." Hey! It's all right. I wipe my pits with it right after. Just kidding, Ryan. I don't do that.
She does it before.
That's true. So, Brian, if you would just shut up, we could talk about some
Can't get a word
serious
in.
stuff. Let's take some, see if anybody has any questions here. Oh, hey, Sean Sandy, you sexy drummer. Alex is a female sound engineer from Red Eye Stock Bar who's watching.
Oh,
and not
okay.
just female, but just an awesome all-around engineer.
Hey, Alex.
So, hey, Alex. We got Matt Solomon. We were just talking about Matt
Hey,
earlier.
Matt.
What up, Matt?
Wally's watching, Avi, Stephanie Renner. Yeah, we got some cool people,
Got
in
people.
here. Thanks everybody for watching. Oh, EJ, what's up, EJ?
Excuse me.
Everybody knows EJ. We should have him on. We got to have EJ on at some point.
Yeah.
So Brian,
Mm-hmm.
how long have you been playing?
A couple weeks now.
He's got jokes.
He's
got the
progressed
jokes.
quickly.
You've been thinking of this whole time that you're
That's
going to
why
say
I'm
that.
playing, yeah.
Playing.
I asked for a guitar when I was 15, and then was into hard rock, playing in cover bands in Frederick, and then asked for a fiddle 7 years ago, and just started that. So, and it's the toughest instrument I've touched.
Why fiddle? Like,
I've always loved it, and it was a huge challenge, and
yeah,
still is.
that's cool.
Yeah.
Do you do any singing in the band?
No, in the car.
We
We're
want
trying to
him
push him.
Let's try
We
it.
want
Okay.
him to. We want him to open as Buck Wyatt, but he won't do it.
Unless it's for humor, I don't.
If y'all haven't, YouTube Buck Wyatt. Trust me.
Per-
Are you giving us homework, JB?
not safe for work.
Nah,
Yeah,
don't
not
watch
safe
it
for
work.
work.
Don't watch it work.
Not safe for work.
Hashtag Randy Cougar.
So what's the resistance? You don't want to sing?
These guys don't like me saying it, but when you hear them singing, it's kind of intimidating.
Aww, there's the love.
I've said that before. You know?
You foolish man.
Yeah.
Why mess it up?
Do you do any harmonies or anything?
In the car.
Oh,
In
okay.
the car.
Sounds like she's gonna wear you
That's
down.
That's
I
step
think.
one, buddy.
We have it on
Try
video
it.
now. You have to start singing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is going on record.
This is actually an intervention.
Yeah. This is why you're not singing. This person will be affected. by
Yeah,
this.
we tried to gather your loved ones, but there's not a lot.
They don't.
Ah, did your family play music?
My mom can sing and play a little piano, but
Okay.
know that.
That's cool.
Yeah, so.
You're just learning a lot today,
I
Scott.
didn't know anything about this guy.
He didn't even know his name before we started.
You've been
filming.
spending all your time focusing on this one, I think.
It's a
couple
I
dates.
only have eyes
It's a high maintenance role.
It is.
So JB, I've seen you playing around the Frederick music scene, and we joke that you're a king of the Frederick music
Not
scene.
at all.
So what makes this project different for you, and what are you most excited about in this project versus some other things you've been involved in?
Well, I was a solo artist for a really long time, and that's, I think, where my heart lies a lot of the time. I really
Okay.
do like playing solo, but it gets old after a while. And I started playing with Secondhand Ramblers with Scott probably 10 years ago or so, and that's, I get to exercise another style of playing there, and I get to get another set of music rocks off playing with Secondhand Ramblers. But with Israel Creek, it's anybody who knows me knows that I have a secret love for like really sad folk music.
Oh my gosh,
With
I
really
know.
good
Like I play
really
around
good
on a show, it's
harmonies.
like boom, Lady Gaga, and I go home and I'm like
Right.
Civil War.
Right. I'll get in the car and immediately put on Ryan Adams.
Yes. Oh yeah.
And so a lot of it started with me, like Kembry said, we met at the NOLA open mic, and it really started because I saw in Kembry somebody who shared my kind of aesthetic for music, but not necessarily the exact same artists. And I knew it would blend well, and then that was the push that I needed to get Scott to play that sad folk music with me.
There you go. All this time. All this time.
Alright, I can do sad.
It's all a devious plan.
I love it. I love it. So Secondhand Ramblers, great band name, by the way.
Thank you.
I've always loved that.
Thank you.
How did you get Israel Creek? Where does that come from?
That actually came from my dad
Yep.
because Brian and I live pretty much on Israel Creek.
Oh,
so
cool.
where he grew up, the property, the creek goes through, and I'm more or less across the street.
And I know we were saying you have to be careful. This is not a bluegrass band. You do not pretend they're a bluegrass band.
Yes,
but
thank
as
you.
being influenced by bluegrass, that's very bluegrassy. I feel like
Sure.
it kind of immediately I kind of have a set expectation of what you're
Sure.
going to sound like, and you didn't disappoint. It was great.
Nickel Creek was taken. So
But go back to the drums, Scott.
we gotta hire a drummer.
That's so good. No, that's kind of cool. You don't have a drummer. So let's see if anybody has any questions from our not studio audience, our virtual reality studio audience. Everybody's giving shout outs.
Ask us questions, man.
Yeah, you have them.
We know
right
you're
here.
watching, Matt.
Yeah, we can literally see you're watching, Matt. What do you have to do? Did you vote?
Matt's
Matt?
gonna ask us some weird political question.
I hope you all voted. Oh, Tom from TLF. Oh my God, I can't even say it. Tom, hey Tom, what's up? Samantha Treadwell, we got some people on here. This is cool. Yeah, so nobody's gonna ask questions.
No questions?
You know
Okay.
what? Instead of questions, let's just hear some music. How's that? You
That
guys wanna
works.
play a song for us?
Sure.
Okay, awesome. So this is local live here at Making Music in downtown Frederick. And while they're getting set up, I want to announce that our next act is going to be July 10th. We're going to have Goodbye July. See what you did there, Wally. Set that up. Very clever. So July 10th, tune in for our next episode. We're going to have a song from them, a few more questions. And what are you guys going to be playing?
That's a good question.
I have the good questions. That's why they pay me.
Yeah, let's.
Well,
Are you ready?
Sure.
Yes, no.
So we're gonna play our most bluegrassy song.
Yeah.
I have to tell you, we're not in all the bluegrass.
Don't get it twisted though.
We can do Lazy Eye if you'd rather. It's up to you.
Let's do the TV.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, Israel Creek with their most bluegrassy song.
Stay tuned because we care.
Oh, yeah, I should probably do that.
As Doc Watson.
Ladies and gentlemen, a band tuning.
It's actually a really highbrow art piece. You guys just don't get it.
I don't think you're in the frame over there, sir.
Do you want a stool in the front?
Oh, we could surround you
Look at that.
with the
Do you want
Why
that?
don't I just slip right in here?
Okay, so now I do you
Does
want
that work
this
for you?
one?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
All right, you guys
Is
look
that
good.
gonna work for you?
It's a standable. Yeah, it's standable.
Logistics.
Ah, now I'm taller, dude.
Ready? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Seems so long ago when I met you. Seems so long ago when we fell in love. And it seems so long ago when I kissed you. But I don't remember when I lost your love. You said you'd always be there when I need you.
rewrote that. For the record.
No, for real?
Yeah, realsies.
That was an original?
Yeah.
Woo!
All
mind
originals
blown.
today.
All originals today.
Oh my gosh. That was a treat, you guys. That was awesome. I don't know who that guy was, but forget him because you're married now. Thanks for the song, bro.
It's not about Brian.
He's Brian. You don't have to make it on your own. You can just stay in the band. Not playing all. I was thinking when JB was talking about like playing by himself all the time. I'm like, one is the loneliest.
Yeah.
Let's start covering that.
Oh God. Just standing up there. Oh, that is my go-to jam. Like, look at that song.
Air Supply. Yeah, it's
Oh
good
my
stuff.
God,
Good stuff.
that was really great, guys.
Thank you.
I'm a fan. I don't think I'm lucky that I get to, because it's hard. I've talked to some of our other guests, I've talked to them about this, like being in a band, playing all these weekends, like this show, Tuesday nights, local live, making music, no excuse. You get to see all these awesome bands that you probably can't see because you're out gigging. Like,
Yep.
let's
That's the
face
worst
it.
part about being a musician.
It is. It
You don't
is.
get to see your friends play
Because
over
your
it.
favorite thing
Right.
is seeing other band, like, and that's why
Yep.
all my friends are like, I'm like, I have a Friday night off, like, but it's normally like stressed out, like which band to go see, you know? Man, so-
I recently saw the Wood Brothers play with Stray Birds live at Lincoln Theater, and they said something very similar to that. That the reason they brought Stray Birds was so they could actually hang out with their friends.
Isn't
while
that
they played.
crazy? Yeah, it's like when I'm on a bill with like multiple acts in the summer, I'm
I
like,
get to see other music.
yes, I get all like and this I will give a shout out to. So this is Tuesdays, local live, no excuse. You can be in your pajamas, you can be, you know, like just come home from work, whatever. Here at Making Music, you can come down and see us in person, but it's very convenient that it's just on your computer. And also, events like Alive at 5 are great for that, like a Thursday night, getting to see the Sunday concert
Totally.
series at Baker Park. I'm a big fan of because that's like my Friday. Most of us, you know, we
Right.
start we're like, relax now.
Exactly.
So let's see if anybody has any other preguntas. Anybody have a question? No?
Good
Nobody?
Spanish.
Sí, yo hablo español. Es mi idioma segundo. Okay, so no questions, just some hellos. Well, hello to y'all. We appreciate you joining in.
Tip of the hat.
So I do have a funky
Flag of
kind of
the
question. That was original. So good. It's very good. I really enjoyed that. Who writes your songs?
We
Is
all
it
do.
always you? You all
No,
do?
we all do.
Yeah.
Yeah, we try to contribute as equally as possible.
Okay.
I think that's one of the connecting things between us as a band is that we're all songwriters. And so we are very lucky that we're all songwriters that also get along.
Yeah. I was, when you said that to me, I was like,
Yeah,
okay,
so it's
you all write
backing
the
up.
songs.
Well, and it's like I read horror stories about like the Eagles when they first got together.
Oh,
and
yeah,
it's
the
like
documentary's
and
great.
sometimes I forget how lucky I am to play music with three people that I get along really well with.
Yes.
Like none of us have hit either in any others of us.
Well, they
So
just
it's
got
been-
married. Give them time.
Yeah, give it a minute.
I'm probably the pickiest when it comes to songwriting, but for my songs.
Yeah.
So I recognize that, you know, if either of these guys, or even if Brian wants to contribute, if it's their song, I respect that, and I'll listen to their
Yeah.
stylistic choices because that's their vision.
Yeah.
I just, especially for that song in particular, like that is a very bluegrass song, you know. So
It needs to, and you really brought it. Like I love the harmonies. Good job.
Well, I think there was a lot of
A fourth
direction
would
that
have
went
been
into
nice.
us learning that
So
song too.
that's what we're saying.
Just
There was
kidding.
a
It
whole
long.
lot of JB Stop.
Let's get some suspensions.
Play
in
it
there.
this way.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. It is, and the songs like I write originals as well. It is like your baby.
Yeah.
When you bring it to the
Yeah.
table, you're like, be gentle with this.
Well, I
This is
think-
a little piece of my heart
Yeah.
here.
There's always going to be different suggestions and different ideas, and I think what we kind of generally stick to is whoever wrote the song kind of has the final say.
Yeah.
And we're certainly like open to suggestions and
Yeah.
changes, and so to answer your question, I think typically one of the three of us thus far will write probably about 75% of a song and then be like, okay, I'm ready to show this to
Yeah, and okay, I see a fiddle solo here, right? You write
Yeah,
your own
right.
solo, like
Right.
something of that
how
nature.
do we want to start this bad boy? You know?
Well, you play with my cousin JW Sayre. He has
I
a
do.
saying, and he plays in Island Radio.
Yes.
And you guys are great. I saw you recently. Very
Thank you.
like Bob Marley, kind of cool, and Matt, your front man, also awesome. But he has a saying: somebody has to be the boss.
Yeah.
And so, like, I think that it's nice you guys delegating that role
Yeah.
gives it the nice democracy, but also like somebody does have to say, okay, this is how make a choice.
Right.
And with a bunch of musicians, like I think that's hard
I-
sometimes when you're
Right.
like, what should we do?
I think either Scott and I then end up fulfilling that role.
Yeah.
Because sometimes there just has to be a decision made. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not trying to do my own horn, but I just think that's how.
I think that all of us also coming from bands, and this isn't like our first project with other people.
Yeah.
I think that we've all seen a lot of the things that can go wrong in a band setting, and you know, sure, there's times where we get annoyed with each other in a writing session, but we've seen things go wrong in other bands enough times to know, like, okay, this is the point where I need to go outside and smoke a cigarette.
Yeah.
This is the point where I need to stop talking and just listen to what they're saying.
This is the part
and
where we need to smack talk
the
Jamie
only way
before
to
smoking a cigarette outside.
right, and the only way to get there is
Oh.
experience
Oh,
too.
dude.
The only
he
thing
loves you though. That's
he
his
does.
anger, passion, love and hate,
It's love.
fine line. The
No,
opposite
we
of
have-
love is apathy, not hate.
And, I mean, Scott and I specifically have a very
Stop.
specific rule about voicing grievances immediately, like as soon as you can do so rationally, because that stuff that'll fester if you don't, and that'll kill a band.
That's how band members do get hit on stage.
That'll go. You'll go all Paul Simon and Art Garfunkel real quick.
So I think we agree that somebody has to be the boss, but I think we pass the boss stick.
Yeah, that's why I was just saying, because when JW said that to me, I was like, oh, you're my cousin's interesting opinion, because I'm very much, Vinyl Rhino is very much a democracy, like to the point where it's like, okay, vote on this, whether we're doing this song or not. And I'm like, yeah, sometimes it is like, you know, Ryan is our musical director, so sometimes if it, you know, everybody has like their role.
Sure.
But I was like, ooh, how would that
Is he the
apply
one you
to?
towel off?
I do towel him
See,
off.
there you go.
I'm now realizing
Comes
that
with the
maybe
position.
he's a little more the boss than I'm realizing. But anyway,
It's a bandatorship.
yeah, he's the shortest guy too, so he's just a real powerful guy.
You know it.
Amazing guitar player, yeah. He's like, "Meow, watch me poop out this awesome solo. Okay.
Okay.
So I like that, the idea that you're like, okay, well, it's my song, I'm the boss. Mwahaha.
Final say.
That's right. Where are you guys playing next?
Valley Grill Sports Bar in Middletown this Friday.
This Friday.
What's the time on it? 8 or 7?
I believe it's 7 to 10.
7 to 10.
7 to 10 at Valley Grill.
Valley
That's
Grill.
Middletown.
Middletown,
Right?
right off of
That's a
Alt
beautiful
40.
setting, yeah.
It's
And
gorgeous.
It's gorgeous.
Nice patio.
Nice patio. We'll be playing outside. It's the dinner hour. Come enjoy a beer
Drinks.
and some chicken wings and stuff.
I like how you throw out wings. I don't know what they
No,
serve
the
there.
menu's
You know,
good.
they
You don't want to false advertise. Like, come get the creme brulee, and they're like, we don't have that, Kimbrey.
They got them wings, though.
They do. Wings.
She was like, shoot, aim low.
And y'all look like,
Come get their chicken
yeah,
tenders.
come get there. Some food every place has wings.
They have French fries.
They have
it's great.
burgers.
Yeah, for the vegans, French fries.
And beer.
Yeah, they have
That's all you
alcohol.
need, really.
Yeah, and outside, and it is Middletown with its rolling hills with your music.
Gorgeous.
It's right on the golf
Gorgeous.
course. There's a fountain like right by where we're playing too. It's a very
Very
nice
pretty.
thing.
Yeah, I think
And
we're playing there at some point.
We'll be doing Alive at 5 on August 30th.
Yeah.
So
Alive at
that's
5,
our big
August
thing that we're super-
30th.
That's our
Okay.
big thing we're super pumped about.
Yeah. That's what we're like if we say nothing else today.
Alive at 5.
Alive at 5, August
30th. Which I just saw Dan McGuire at Alive at 5. He was our
He
first.
set a
year.
record.
He did.
Didn't he? Set a record
I
for
looked
attendance?
around and
Challenge
Vinyl Rhino,
accepted.
we had a record like 5 years ago, and it was like
Okay.
1,000.
Okay.
So I knew that like the new record must have been something around like 1,200, just because they've been doing it a while. And I looked around and I told I was there with the girls from Southern and Charm, Lauren and Kimmy, and I was like, "This is a record, Dan. This is a
Dan?
record. I know
Roller
you
break.
couldn't move."
I saw a video, actually, your video.
I went live because I was like, "This is a
You were
record."
playing.
Yeah, and he said 1,400, right? I think it was 1,400.
We're going to break it.
You guys are gonna break
So-
it.
I'm going to challenge
You
Dan
can help
McGuire
them
right now.
throw it down, Dan McGuire. This is a battle of the local one-man band.
Although
people.
I think we're big fans of Dan.
Oh, of
And,
course.
I
Dan's
and
one of my favorite
love
people.
Dan.
Yeah.
we've kind of come up together in a lot of respects, I think, in the Frederick area.
I remember I saw Dan play one of his first like 3 shows ever at the Music Cafe in Damascus when
He's
he was
so
all
good.
he had that scene haircut,
Baby
I love
face.
the straight bowl cut.
Mm.
Yeah.
The evolution of
Calling you out, Dan.
Well, guys, we are out of time. But yes, the final word is going to be Dan McGuire. Everybody,
That's a whole lot of man.
The final word is vote.
yeah, it's vote.
Go vote.
You still got time. So yeah, at 6 o'clock, we're gonna have you guys take us out with one more song.
Sweet.
So this is Israel Creek. Again, we will be joined next time by Goodbye July. In July 10th. I'm Ashley from Vinyl Rhino, and this is Local Live at Making Music, where you can now get a Paul Reed Smith guitar. So why aren't you here right now? Is the question.
What you
Are you
what you want to do?
Red Clay?
All right, what are you gonna play now?
This is another original called Red Clay Dirt.
Right, Clay Dirt. Who wrote this one?
My man JB.
All right, JB.
We're gonna get tuned up again for your auditory pleasure. We promise we've done this before.
so good at tuning.
We've
like,
played
just-
music
this
before.
is-
It's important. Why am I always the last one? Ain't no God in heaven, ain't no devil in hell, ain't no man in a suit gonna tell me how to live my life well. Ain't no infomercial, ain't no after-school special, ain't no 12-step ladder gonna bear my weight when the angel calls to rescue. Lay me down and later, set my bones down in the earth. All these troubles set me free. In that red grave, I will sleep. Someone tell my mother the crop is growing. Never see me and tell me I don't fit in. Never know my father's face, never bear his name. But my veins are still stained by the color of all this sin and shame. Lay me down, red razor. Set my bones down in the earth. All these troubles set me free. In that red grave, I will sleep. I will sleep. Lay me down in the red clay dirt, set my bones down in the earth. From all these troubles, set me free. In that red clay I will see. Lay me down in the red clay dirt, set my bones down in the earth. From all these troubles, set me free. In that red clay I will sleep. Lay me down in the red clay dirt, set my bones down in the earth. From all these troubles, set me free. In that red clay I will sleep. Lay me down in the red clay dirt, set my bones down in the earth. From all these troubles, set me free. In that red clay I will sleep. Lay me down in the red clay dirt, set my bones down in the earth. From all these troubles, set me free. In that red clay I will sleep. Lay me down in the red clay dirt, set my bones down in the earth. From all these troubles, set me free. In that red clay I will sleep.
Woo!
Thank you.
Yay!
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Vote.
Yeah!